Manning is important to the LGBT movement, not because he is queer, but because he brought home the realities of war. He complicates the mainstream gay agenda by exposing the atrocities of the US government, forcing us to have a more nuanced approach to gay rights than the right to serve.
Some people said getting into the National Defense University when he was making a major talk about US policy and interrupting the president was rude. What do you think? Very necessary to tell the president around Guantanamo you don't have to hide behind the cloak of Congress. You can free those prisoners who've been already cleared for release.
That's right.
And around the drone strikes, you can just do the right thing, which is down those damn drones. We don't need them. We don't want them. All of the work that we do has been informed by Bradley Manning and WikiLeaks.
I spent 410 days in solitary confinement, and now I'm here to talk to you about why I admire Bradley Manning. Bradley Manning made a choice. At 24 years old, he made a choice very consciously to take a risk, and he acted on his conscience. Bradley Manning's act of bravery and courage has benefited the entire world. The Collateral murder video has changed history. For everyone in the world to be able to watch as Apache helicopters gunned down innocent, unarmed Iraqis and Reuters journalists. For them to be able to hear the chilling voice of a soldier laugh when he thinks he's run over a dead body, and to hear another soldier say, that's their fault for bringing their kids to a battlefield. That's their fault for bringing their kids to a battlefield. In the Collateral murder video, 2 children were shot by this. They were, I don't know if it was an RPG, exploded the van that they were in. It was trying to rescue dead bodies. And the voice of that soldier is justifying the atrocity and the murder of children. That's what Bradley Manning gave the world. That's the voice that Bradley Manning gave the world. The Obama administration is on the wrong side of history for persecuting whistleblower Bradley Manning. Obama, the candidate, said that whistleblowers were patriots. And now the Obama administration has targeted whistleblowers more than any other administration in history. They've invoked the Espionage Act in 5 cases, which is more than all other administrations combined. So Bradley Manning and I have very different stories. I was held as a political hostage. He's a whistleblower in the US military. But what we have in common is that we are both being used by governments. My friends and I were used by the Iranian government to try to extract concessions from the US government. Bradley Manning is being used to set an example so that more whistleblowers, or potential whistleblowers in the future, will be afraid to act. Another parallel between Bradley Manning and myself is that we both endured psychological torture. And when you talk about torture, people say, okay, where are the marks? You know, why aren't you limping? You look fine to me. The psychological torture that Bradley Manning endured in Quantico and I endured at Evin Prison is 23 hours a day in lockdown, alone in a cell, with nothing in the world but your own terrifying thoughts. The reason that they gave for holding Bradley Manning in solitary confinement was for his own protection. They said he was at suicide risk. I was told the same thing. I was told that I couldn't be in a same cell with an Iranian woman because I might be in danger, which is a lie. People in solitary confinement are 50% more likely of committing suicide than other prisoners in the general population. In our country, and we are the greatest offenders of psychological torture in the form of prolonged solitary confinement of any country in the world. We have up to 80,000 people in isolation on any given day, up to 20,000 or more in prolonged isolation, which the UN has clearly said is torture. So even though Bradley Manning and I have unusual stories, the conditions and the torture that we endure is not unusual. It's prevalent and widespread in prisons across this country today. When I try to describe the torture of solitary confinement, I don't think, I'm always at a loss for words because I don't really think that it can be described in words. It's like a slow death. There's a gray, limitless ocean spread out in front of you and behind you that threatens to swallow you. It's a world with the life drained out of it. They put Bradley Manning in solitary confinement because they wanted to break him. That's the only reason to torture a person. A broken prisoner is easier to control, and I'm sure they hoped that he would inform on Julian Assange and WikiLeaks, which he didn't. I work now with an organization called Solitary Watch, and we're trying to get the US government and prisons across the US to admit that we hold more people in solitary confinement than any country in the world. The UN, the committee, we as the United States is a signatory of the Convention Against Torture, and the preceding body, the Committee Against Torture, has said that prolonged solitary confinement is torture. In 2011, the Special Rapporteur on Torture, Juan Mendez, said that any period of over 15 days can cause permanent psychological damage and can constitute torture. In our country, we have people in solitary confinement for months, years, and even decades. So, when I think, if I could, what I would do is I would walk up to Bradley Manning and I would put my hands on his shoulders and I would thank him. I would thank him for trying to prevent Iraqis from being tortured. I would thank him for helping information get out of corruption in Tunisia that added to the momentum that sparked the Arab Spring. I would say, thank you, Bradley Manning, for helping us have a more informed debate. Thank you, Bradley Manning, for your courage as a whistleblower. Thank you, Bradley Manning, for being an extraordinary citizen, and thank you for what you've given us all.
Goes from Finland, Sweden, several from Germany, France, England, Ireland this morning, all that. One American, Fox News, interestingly. So what's going on here? Well, let's not ask why the American press isn't here. And let's focus for a minute on why the European press is here. I just asked that from the woman from Finland. She says this is a very big story in Sweden and all over the continent, and I would say around the world. Our presence here, the rally, Bradley Manning in general, and why should there be that difference? Well, it's very simple. Our country, sad to say, is the country that perpetrated the crimes that Bradley Manning exposed in this. I think other countries have noticed something, but not too many Americans have noticed, that Bradley was an extraordinary American who went on record and acted on his awareness that it was wrong for us to be killing foreigners. And he was not doing it only for American citizens, although I'll come back to that in a moment. I think he saved American lives, but he was concerned that the people of the world should be informed of the way, as he put it, the first world, or the West, he said, treats the third world. And of course these Europeans are not in the third world, but they do have an interest in the fact that America has been acting for a long time time, and above all in the last decade, is if the lives of foreigners meant nothing. Not just less than Americans. That's true for any country in the world. We're superior, we're the best, we're the ones we care about. We care about our family more than we care about other people. That's human. But what we're seeing is a concern that amounts to zero. The fact that Bradley Manning put out that video of Iraqis being killed, I put this now to a couple media this morning and yesterday. How many other videos have you seen of that nature? Of Americans mowing down unarmed civilians. I haven't seen one. None of them have seen one. The one we wouldn't have, no one would have seen that, and they've seen it around the world except for Bradley Manning. Now, that video is part of the charges against him. I was outraged when I was in the courtroom and discovered that they were actually using that video charge against him, which obviously deserved to be out, needed to be out. It was his right to do it. As he said, he also said something that they used in the PowerPoint presentation of the charges against him. I want people to see the real nature of asymmetric warfare. Now there's a term that not many Americans would even hear unless you're a specialist. That's the new military word for the kind of wars we've been fighting, otherwise known as asymmetric, from the strong against the weak. What used to be called colonial wars. Wars asymmetric because one side has airplanes, drones, helicopters, napalm, artillery, tanks, and the other side has none of those. Only suicide bombers if they're fighting and IEDs, improvised explosives. So it's asymmetric. And the result of that is the great slaughter of innocents, which is a war crime. Unless Americans don't, as I say, care too much about that when they read about it or if it feeds into them. But that video, actually showing it in sight, had the potential for grabbing people's attention and making them think, why are we doing this? Why are we here? What is this all about? We've seen hardly any of that because ever since the Gulf War, American Pentagon has been very good at keeping Americans from seeing what they're actually doing on the ground, seeing anything but a video show of missiles going up in the air and exploding and whatnot, and not of bodies lying around, unarmed bodies, as Bradley Manning revealed. Torture? President Obama has the nerve to say, I ended torture. Well, he has ended torture the same way he has closed Guantanamo, as he keeps saying. What Bradley Manning revealed that we have been turning over thousands of Iraqi prisoners to Iraqi custody knowing they would be tortured. That is a crime as clearly as torturing them ourselves. It's the same, essentially, legally. He then found 1,000 approaching orders saying, do not investigate further, do not investigate further. An illegal order, which goes right up to the commander-in-chief on this. So a violation then, naturally people ask, why is Obama doing this? He has been incriminated in impeachable offenses and domestic crimes as much as anybody below him. As a matter of fact, Obama, what did I say? So, in short, many people have asked me today, why are you here? Well, I say first because I personally identify with Bradley Manning and have from the moment of the video coming out and the moment especially that I read the chat logs which got him pulled in, where he said, I'm ready to go to prison for life or even be executed. And I thought, that's how I felt 40 years ago, and I've been waiting 40 years. 40 years to hear somebody else say that. Now, a lot of people outside, I've been in a lot of protests that are protesting the purpose of which is to protest Bradley Manning's status as a victim of government abuse against himself. But that's not why I'm here today, and I think that's not why you're here. I'm here to celebrate an American hero, a world hero, to recognize him, let him know. I hope it will get through to him, and I hope it will get through to the kinds of people that President Obama is trying to intimidate. to keep from doing what Bradley Manning did, that there are Americans who understand the Constitution, unlike, let's say, the San Francisco Gay Pride Parade community who rescinded his election as a marshal. They said falsely that he had endangered American lives. I don't have time to go in here, but he saved American lives. There would be tens of thousands of American troops in Iraq right now, and many of them would have died if Bradley Manning had not revealed atrocities that made it impossible for Maliki to give immunity for that. Okay, so what does this say about gays? Well, there are gays here, as in today, in good faith. What it says is that gays are like other Americans, that there's a lot of them that don't understand our Constitution or don't care enough about it. And fortunately, there are so many. As somebody asked in San Francisco, why should Bradley Manning be regarded as a gay hero? What did he do for gays? And one answer was, he did it for humanity, and gays are people. And second, I would say that any group of which Bradley Manning can be said to be a part should be honored to recognize him as their hero. And that goes for gays, it goes for transgender people, it goes from people from Oklahoma. There won't be very many there who appreciate him. It goes even for short people. But anybody who can identify with Bradley Manning should feel honored that there isn't an American and a human. And I love your homemade signs here, especially. I see a lot of them. I love all of them. I saw one here, another one that said, "Truth. Are you Manning enough to do it?" I love that.
So this is an Army cadence that we sang, and I weave some of Bradley Manning's story into this because I think it's very relevant. So this is a call and response. I'll sing a line, and then you sing it back to me. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, ho, ho, ho. 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 Mama, mama, can't you see? Oh, what the Army's done to me. Mama, mama, can't you see? Oh, what the Army's done to me. I used to be young and lame, and now I'm a killing machine. I used to drive a Chevrolet, and now I'm killing every day. Oh, whoa, ho, ho, ho. Bring it down now. We're not done yet.
I am taping this right now from inside the WikiLeaks truck.
I love your truck.
Bucket list item accomplished. This is epic.